I wanted to have it, I could have it, but just in moderation, right? So if you can just expound a little bit and help us, the ones that like to eat meat, know how we can still be healthy, lose weight, and enjoy those foods as well.
Yeah, I love everything that Paulette has been saying. I'm kind of a little bit of my history is that you guys know that I had surgery in 2016, and the day of my surgery, they found a tumor in my pancreas, and so I had to have another surgery to get that removed. And
Hi.
after having that
Sorry.
surgery,
I have a question because not everyone knows because we have new viewers.
Oh,
and they don't. Right.
Okay. Hi. So I had weight loss surgery, bariatric surgery, gastric bypass in 2016. I made a choice to do that out of frustration. I didn't think I needed to have it. Like there was not any medical issues. I just got frustrated because I regained a lot of weight, and I'm like, I'm just done. And so I ended up having the surgery, and during that surgery, the surgeon found a tumor in my pancreas that I did not know was there. And so within the next, I guess, couple of months, I had to have another surgery, and they removed my pancreas, and they removed my spleen and a part of my pancreas. And so I had to make some moderation. So I made a choice after that surgery that I would not allow what I eat to kill me. So I made a choice to be plant-based. So Paulette kind of went through the whole vegan and vegetarian. I don't kind of see myself as vegan because I definitely am going to wear some leather, right? And so I'm more plant-based, meaning that I try to incorporate as much vegetables, fruits, whole grains as possible and eliminate a lot of the processed foods. And that's how I maintain. However, because I am me and I'm not like always strict, and I do enjoy meat, I love bacon. I am a baconista. What I've done with myself is that I practice moderation. I practice intuitive eating. What that means is that you learn the nutritional values of food. Yourself great. You allow yourself to know when it's okay to have that. Like there are times when I love ice cream, dairy ice cream. And so I'll get dairy ice cream because what happens with me, Paulette talked about the brain. What happens with me is that if I restrict myself too much, that's when I binge because I'm a binger. So kind of integrating the whole mental health piece into it. So what I tend to do is I'll go long periods of not having or restricting things that I really enjoy. And then I'm like, okay, I can't do this. I can't do this. And so I just binge and I just have it all the time. And then I find myself 6 months, a year later, and I'm like back at square one. And so for me, I needed to find some balance there. So I'm not at the point in my life where I can just cut everything cold turkey, but I can make a choice every day to be better. I can make a choice every day to incorporate more vegetables. I can make a choice every day to incorporate more fruits and whole grains and all that kind of good stuff. And so that's what I choose to do. And when we talk about the holiday season is coming, right? And this is like a big trigger to a lot of people that are in the weight loss community because this is the time when we start starving ourselves. This is the time that we start going on these detox fasts when we're just drinking water. Because number one, we want to be skinny. And we know we're coming up on social gatherings. COVID is a little bit different now, but typically this time of year, we're coming up on the time where we're going to be seeing family. We don't want to be fat. We're going to be seeing, friends, right? And so this is the time that we're going to start starving ourselves so that we can make it through the holiday season. And that's what I used to do. And so I had to find a place of balance within myself that I'm not starving myself as punishment for a food that I want to eat because that's not healthy either. Like I'd rather just have the food if I'm going to be unhealthy with myself. And so it's about balance. It's about being mindful of why you're eating, why you're making the choices that you're making, and knowing that food is okay. It's supposed to be a good thing, right? And allowing yourself to experience the enjoyment behind food because it's okay to enjoy food. Like some people think that food is a punishment. We use food as a punishment to punish ourselves. We think that, carbs are bad. Carbs are not bad. Carbs are a great thing. Carbs give you energy. Mm-hmm. Someone that was all keto. Keto is a great thing. It helps you to lose weight fast, but keto for the rest of your life, at least I could. before I binged. And so for me, my lifestyle has been about just balance, just finding balance, being very mindful and knowing, okay, Taisha, you had ice cream today. Why do you want this? Are you eating your feelings right now?
Uh-huh.
So tapping into and leaning into the why behind your making your food choices, and empowering to be able to say, you know what, I really want that ice cream, but I don't need it right now.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Or, you know what, I've not had ice cream in a very long time. I want some. I love ice cream. And so for me, it's just about that mindfulness piece and our mindset towards food. And I think that that's where a lot of people, especially people in the weight loss community, kind of throw themselves off by being so rigid and so restrictive.
Mm-hmm.
It's good stuff.
Awesome. Paulette, anything else you want to share? I want to know percentages. Go ahead, Paulette.
Can you hear me? Can you hear me? I think I was muted or whatever. I would like for, if you could, please, that was beautiful. Thank you so much for that. That was very insightful. And I think it's important that people understand that, you know, you can do just exactly that, right? You know, you can say, hey, I haven't had ice cream for a while, and I think that's what I want, and I'm going to have it. Or, you know, this isn't the time to have it because I know why I want it. I want it because I just broke up with somebody. I want it because, you know, those types of things, right? And so understanding that. But I would like you to expound, if you could, please, because one of the things, like I said, reason why I don't tag myself as actually being or labeling myself as being a vegan or what have you, because the most important thing to me is the whole food plant-based, eating whole foods. Can you explain a little bit about, I understand it, but, you know, I don't know if the viewers or the listeners understand it quite so much. What is a whole food plant-based diet?
So a whole food plant-based diet is looking at, again, reading the nutrition labels, right? And knowing what exactly and how foods are made. So whole foods are fruits, vegetables, things that come out of the earth. And so eating them as they are. Processed, so, you know, when you go into the supermarket, you have like the aisles, the center aisles. Typically, the whole foods are going to be on the circumference of the supermarket. The vegetables, fruits, the meats. Those are all the whole foods, how they come out of the earth. Right? They're created in a chemistry lab, right? So those are the whole foods, whole grains, vegetables, fruits. Even meats can be whole foods. They're not plant-based, but they're whole foods. That's how they came out of the earth, right? And so when I say whole food plant-based, I mean incorporating more of those items into my diet as opposed to the foods that are created in the lab. Mm-hmm. As opposed to things that are going to not fill me up. Because if you eat like some quinoa, you're going to be full for a long time. And it's going to take your body a long time to digest it. And so that's the beauty in whole foods, is that it takes your body so much longer to digest it. So you're not even going to want some more food. And so what I find myself doing is that I eat on a schedule. Like I'll eat every couple of hours just so that I can always have something going in my furnace, so to speak. You know, we say that food is fuel, right? Our body is burning food in order to fuel what we're doing throughout the day. And so I try to keep small meals throughout the day so that my body always has something to be fueling itself, so that I'm never going hungry. So that when because what tends to happen for me is that if I do not do that, then I will binge. I will go and I'll just eat up everything because I've gone too long without eating. And so I tend to eat small meals throughout the day. And I've learned how to, Travis kind of tapped into this earlier today. He talked about head hunger. I had to learn when it's my mind that's hungry, not necessarily my stomach. That's especially in the weight loss surgery community and just weight loss, you don't really recognize when they're full. Mm-hmm. There are cues that your body will give you when you're full. Mm-hmm. And a lot of times we will kind of stuff ourselves with food when it's really about just being satisfied. It's not about being full and stuffed. It's just about food just satisfying us, and learning the difference between when you're satisfied and just stopping and not going beyond that point. And that's when you run into, oh, now I'm overeating because I learned my food cues. And that could be, for some people, that could be, I'll yawn when I'm full. I'll yawn. That's your body's cue that you've had enough, right? Some people's nose will run. Those are cues that you've had enough. It's time to let that go. And something I learned, I never wanted to throw my food away. I posted about this on my page the other day, that in my family, we grew up that you eat everything on your plate.
Right.
Right. And I've had to learn that I had to unlearn that. I had to learn that once I'm satisfied, it's okay to throw everything else away. The kids are not going to starve because I threw away my potato. So it's okay to unlearn how you were socialized around food.
So I have a question for you, Ty, because I'm thinking about Trav, who just had the surgery. So it's been a couple of months now. How many times a day do you recommend that he eats from your experience?
As much as he needs to.
As much as you need to.
Because it's going to be different for everybody, because everybody is different. And so I eat every couple of hours, like what they recommend. But again, you have to tap into, what is my body needing right now? Am I about to go work out? Did I just come from working out? Do I need to refuel my body? There are things that you have to know about your lifestyle that indicates what you need to eat and how you need to eat. So there's some people that do really good intermittent fasting. I'm not one of those people, but there are people that do great with it. So it's all about knowing what you can tolerate personally and what you can commit to, because I'm all about what can you commit to for a lifestyle, for life, not something that you are going to do for a couple of months and then you give up.
Sorry.
No, you do for the rest of your life that will help you to sustain the weight that you lose. I think we lost Paulette.
I'm sorry. No, I accidentally hit her. I'm sorry. Hold on a minute.
Uh-oh.
My bad. Oh, hold on a minute. Put on my glasses so I can see what I'm doing. Hold on a minute. Wait. Start video. There she is. Sorry.
That's okay. I never went anywhere. You guys just blocked me out, I guess.
I'm sorry about that, Paulette. So, speaking of intermittent fasting, I have done it, and it was very successful when I did it, but I think I forgot to keep doing it, so I don't do it anymore. I have to remind myself. And one of the things I find now, like, I will now have my last meal at about 8:30, and oh my God, by the time morning time comes, I'm about to die. I'm like so hungry, like I can feel my stomach growling. But instead of getting upset, I actually get happy. I'm like, yes, my stomach is growling. Yes, because I feel like I've lost weight. Does that mean I've lost weight in my sleep or something?
No, it means you're hungry.
You're hungry. Yes, you're hungry.
You're hungry. So, I don't like to be hungry. That's why that particular lifestyle doesn't work for me, although people get really great results on it. That does not work for me. Juicing does not work for me. I like to chew my food. But people juice and it works for them. So you have to really know yourself. But I'm all for, if you're hungry, eat.
Right.
Because if you are in a constant state of desiring food and not allowing yourself to have it, you're not going to sustain that practice. Like you're not for the rest of your life. You're going to say, man, forget this, I'm hungry. Right. So allow yourself to change your relationship, your relational dynamics with food. It's okay. Food is okay. I think that, so from my understanding, as long as you don't eat over a certain amount of calories, you're not going to gain weight.
Right.
Whether you eat them all in a 4-hour window, 2-hour window, 24-hour window, as long as you don't eat over those number of calories, you're good. So again, tap into what is your style of eating? What can your body tolerate? What can you mentally tolerate for the rest of your life? Then do that.
Yeah, the caloric intake is huge. You have to know exactly how many calories that your body is supposed to take in, right? And so you stick to the 1,800 is all I need a day to be able to sustain where I'm at. But you need to understand what your body mass index is. Yeah. Once you understand what your BMI, all of that. And I'll hit on 3 points here, if I may. There's 3 things I want to mention. With the whole plant-based lifestyle, diet, whatever you want to call it, one of the things that you have to be very cognizant of, and that's oil. Because, like she said, it is the actual whole food, the whole plant that you're eating that comes from the earth. Oil does not come from the earth. Oil comes from nuts. Oil comes from the olive tree. So they tell you to eat the olive and not necessarily the oil. And it's the types of oil. Now, olive oil, grapeseed oil, avocado oil, those are pretty healthy oils if you need to use oil, right?
What about coconut? What about coconut?
Coconut oil, not a lot of it, because it is very high in calories. I'll put it to you that way. If you're baking, it's good to use that. But not to really fry anything in it or bake it. You know, if you're going to bake something sweet or what have you, coconut oil is good. Obviously, it's a good moisturizer, so you can use it in that instance too. But be careful about oils, because those oils, you will pick up pounds. Again, the extra. Remember, I was telling you about the extra, that where you gain the weight, things that you're not thinking of. So you're sitting there influx of safflower oil. Well, what's the safflower? Right? Corn, so you got to be careful with all those different oils that is not good for you. Understand that when you're looking at the nutritional labels, when you're reading those labels and it has on there, you can have this and it says, you're eating what kind of oil is that? Is that a plant? If it's not a plant, it's genetically modified of some sort. It's something else.
So what's the oils again? The safe oils again?
Good oils would be walnut oil. Great seed oil.
Walnut oil?
Like the nuts. Any type of nut produces oils.
You get that from a store?
What's that?
You can buy that from a store?
Yeah, you buy it on the aisle where there's oils.
Yeah.
Cooking oil. It is a cooking oil.
So you know what is the best thing in the world about learning to be plant-based or vegan? You get to explore.
Yeah.
That you can explore, that you're like, wow, I have been missing out.
Yes.
Seasonings, that is the best thing in the world. Exploring different seasonings and how the different season combinations combine, and your palate and your food palette is just like wonderful. So I just really encourage people because people think vegan and they think lettuce. They literally think
lettuce and carrots.
Lettuce and carrots. No. There is so much that you can explore and play with. Go down the aisles, go to Whole Foods. Even Walmart now has a really good selection of plant-based items. Just explore, be adventurous, and just to go explore stuff. And you will find that you're like, wow, I had no idea I've been missing out. You really, I had no idea that this whole world existed.
Yeah, that's what happened with me. And I think, again, that's why it became more of a lifestyle than it did something that I attempted to do. Because once I started exploring, and I'm thinking, so this has been here all along, and no one ever told me, right? Or I've always, again, a lot of the diseases and everything, people will say it's hereditary. They're not. It's hereditary? Habits.
Right.
Habits are hereditary.
Absolutely.
Habits from generations. My mom cooked in fat bath. My mom cooked all this. That's habit forming. Generations. And the why behind it? Well, there's many reasons though, right? You have a poor diet because you only have access to what you can afford. So I understand that. Again, there was a why behind the madness. But, every generation comes, the information is out there more than ever. So take advantage of that, educate others, empower others, teach them, because most people don't know. And once you start educating them and opening their eyes, they'll open their senses and they'll say, whether they admit it or not, they're gonna tiptoe down those aisles. They're gonna look and see, oh, I didn't know they had this. I didn't know they made that. But yeah, so oils is another one. Be careful of, okay? And I stated avocado oil. That's a good oil as well.
Avocado. Okay.
Avocado, yes.
And you said sunflower seed or something?
Sunflower seed is a good oil.
Yes. Sunflower, not safflower. Not safflower. Sunflower.
Well, what percentage of Black people are vegetarian? Do you know approximately?
The percentage? The percentage I believe is 23 or something like that. I think it's 23%. Is compared to white people. Actually, the rise of African Americans is higher to becoming more health conscious, specifically vegan and vegetarianism. The difference is you hear this buzzword out there called flexitarian. The flexitarian is to her point. You know, it's a flex thing. You know,
what's flexitarian again?
What you want to eat, when you want to eat it, how you want to eat it. You just
be flexible.
Oh, okay.
Do the best you can do, boo.
I'm vegetarian today. Tomorrow I'm not.
Wow.
So mind your business.
Mind your business. You know, I do it because it's my business. That's my why.
Yes.
So so oils is important. Again, make sure it's the whole. If you choose to take the route of a whole food plant-based lifestyle, that's where that comes in, right? I know folks who've been on that lifestyle probably for 5 years. They don't have any oil like in their diet. They use water, they steam, they do those things instead of putting the oil in the pan. That's their choice. Again, you have your rigidity. You have the rigid folks who say, you know what, because whatever their why is, maybe they overcome a disease, maybe they, I don't know. But whatever their why is, they are to that point to they say, you know what, I'm nourishing my mind, I'm nourishing my body, the weight, all these different things I've discovered, no more. And so they've done that. And discipline is the key to whatever choice that you decide on. Whatever choice you make is discipline. Don't forget that it's not always I do it because I want to do it. It's are you disciplined enough to do it? Or are you going to be slothful in it and say, well, I can have it if I want to? Well, you saw what happened with Oprah. She got that cockiness at first. She knew she looked good. She did all those things. And this is her testimony, not mine. And she said, you know what? I became slothful in it. You know, I took advantage of the weight that I had lost. And so, you know, and braggadocious about it. But she never really understood why she was doing what she was doing. Now, obviously, she has the money and have a nutritionist and a health coach and all those things that if we all had, we could maintain it without even thinking about it. But she still gained it back. And she had all of that. She had all the means of that because the root of her problem wasn't food. The food was the comfort.
Yes.
You know,
so true.
So know the root behind the fruit. You have to know those things. Again, it's important to understand the why. But let me get back to my second thing. So oils is important. Number 2 is, especially when you getting on any type of lifestyle when it comes to your health and fitness, is supplements. Supplements. Vegans, vegetarians, anytime you take that shock to your body, you have to make sure you're getting the important nutrients, and there are 8. And one of the most important nutrients you need to have in your diet is B12, especially African American women, because you miss that and you don't get it in meat. Meat, you have B12 all the time, but you need to have a B12 supplement in your diet, and you should take one every day because it will cause neurological problems. It will cause weakness in your neurological area of your body, as well as magnesium. Magnesium is another one. Not necessarily it is a vitamin, it is a mineral. And people get stuck on vitamins. Vitamin A, vitamin C, I get my vitamins in, my 100%. Vitamin is not about the vitamins. It is, but it's not so much. It's the minerals you miss. You learned that in chemistry and science. You have to have iron. You have to have magnesium. You have to have zinc. Those are important to you, especially for our culture, because we have been indoctrinated on the Western civilization diet. We come from a people of Caribbeans. We didn't come from that. They brought us to that when we got here. So we weren't used to eating those types of things. But make sure you get your supplements and your minerals in. Get your vitamin D3, get your magnesium, get your zinc, get your B12. You have to get those in on a daily basis. Some of the other extra things like turmeric, elderberry, garlic, ginger, all of those are in the spice arena. But those things like that help enhance your food. It gives you not only what you need for flavor, but it gives you what your body has to have in order to function, in order to get that liver rolling, your kidneys. All of those things are important. So it's not just the foods you eat. You get a lot of people that get on these little crash diets and it's all about the foods. It's all about I'm juicing. Well, again, it's really important that you chew. You don't have teeth, but you have them for a reason, and they're not to bite people. You have teeth to chew food, to chew it. So you have to make sure that you're eating every now and again. I have a smoothie every morning, most mornings, 6 days, 5-6 days a week, but I make sure I'm eating a healthy meal, every day. There's going to be one meal that's usually during the day. It's usually my lunch. It's going to be a bigger meal, and then lighter meals in the evening because I'm not as hungry. Why? Because I eat every 3 hours. If I'm in my office, I have my thing of nuts. I have granolas and cranberries and all that mixed together. I have fruit that I have every day. So there's things that I have access to. And they tell you anytime that you decide to make this change, you need to make sure, especially you, Ronnie, when you're talking about becoming vegan, you need to make sure you have an influx of stuff in your house. Your cabinet should be full of food, right? You should never look at the back wall of your pantry. Yeah. Your refrigerator should never be where you see the temperature rating. I mean, if it's in the back or this is at the top. You should keep fruits and vegetables all the time stocked. And then you eat it. You don't leave it there to mildew and get old. If you eat what you purchase, and because you're not on a farm where most people were able to raise their foods and they would take it in, cook it, and eat it. Alaskans and the Eskimos would get their fish, fry it, and eat it for the day. Back then, that's exactly what it was. People went to the store every day because they didn't have to waste food. They would buy what they were going to eat that day. But again, you need to have access to food. You need to make sure you have it so you don't have to say, oh man, I'm so hungry. I don't know what I'm going to do. I can just eat a cow. Next thing you know, you go on this binge. So if you have access to it in the home, you'll never, ever not only go hungry, but you'll never get off of the journey that you have professed and confessed to do, right? There's a destiny that you're trying to reach, and that destiny is not in the earth, right? You have to take care of this holy being that we have, this I call it temple. This temple, or the outside, the cage, or whatever you want to call it, the shell. You still have to take care of that. I mean, it's only going to last up to 120 years. That's what God said. We won't live past that. But if you want to live as long as you can up until that time frame, He's at least giving you that cap. So you at least have a cap to look forward to if you choose to. Anything after that, I don't know. But water is the third thing. So I talked about oils, I talked about supplements and minerals, and the third thing that's I should say 4, but the third thing is water. You have to drink water. You have to fall in love with water. I tell people who hate water or say I don't like the taste of water. I've been there. The only time I used to drink water is when I ran a couple of miles, or when I was playing ball or volleyball or swimming. I mean, that's when I was like, oh, I'm thirsty. And you don't wait till you're thirsty to drink it, right? You're drinking it all the time. I never run out of water. You should have water by your nightstand. You should have water on the kitchen table. You should have water in your den. You should have water right beside you right now. Like this, water, right? You should always keep water with you. Yes. Sodas. I haven't had a soda in, I don't remember. It's been so long. And I would have to guess if I looked at years, because I know it's been.
Hold on, Paulette. Go ahead, Ty.
I wanted to just say, one of the things that I pay attention to, especially now because I'm like post-surgery, is the chemicals that's in the drinks that I have. Some people think, I used to be like really big on, because I used to drink a lot of water, and I would be big on putting the artificial sweeteners in my water. But you might as well have a soda. You might as well go have some juice if you're going to put all those chemicals in your water, because it's defeating the purpose. And it's feeding the like, if you're like, for me, one of my whys is I don't want to get cancer. I don't want to get cancer. Right. So if you're drinking water with the artificial stuff in it, those are chemicals that feed cancer. So you have to be very, very mindful. Read those nutrition labels. Research about what are you actually drinking, because it's very important. It's so important.
Is this okay?
I never read the nutrition label on that.
Me either. What does it say? If it has something you can't pronounce, it's probably not good.
Yeah. So what I had to learn is to, like, do the infused water with like fruits and vegetables, like fruit and the spices, and It's better. It don't taste as
You don't
good,
like that?
but I don't like it as much. What does it say?
No. I'm talking about Ronnie. She got a
understand it.
thumbs down. What is it?
It says, polynolcotinate.
I'm just going to shake my head.
Nope.
I don't trust anything, and I think I mentioned it to you before, or I at least mentioned it to a couple of my friends. If it's made from a soda company,
Oh.
that's the sign right there. That's why Aquafina is crap. That's why Dasani is crap. They're made by soda companies. You actually trust them for your water? Don't trust them with your water. Just drink well water. You know, it's better for you. At least there's alkaline to it. And that's another thing too. Our body has to be the alkalinity in our body. You know, there's foods that have alkaline in it, but you can't have an acidic body and expect it to fight off cancer and expect it to fight off diseases.
Yeah.
That's why it's important the type of water. All water is not created equal. You need to have at least 7.5 pH balance of your water. Anything else that's under that is crap. I've done the pH test. I've seen them. I did it myself. I said, I don't know if I believe that, right? You see all these studies on TV, you see it on YouTube and stuff. I said, let me try it myself. So I bought the water. I bought the core. I bought the Dasani and all these things. I did the test, the Purell and spring water and some water from Walmart and all this stuff. I had 10 of them lined up, and I found out the ones that was crap. And so I no longer do it. And so you're better off just drinking the water. My water from my fountain, from my sink is better. It has more alkaline in it than some of the water. Now, spring water is very good. You can buy spring water. Buy a case of spring water. It's fine.
Okay.
You know?
All right. Let's shift gears real quick. Working out and exercising. It's something that I have become addicted to, thank the Lord, but I realized that I needed to get the food portion right. But what I'm finding now, Paulette in particular, is now that I have not had meat in like 50 days, I'm more tired. But I'm doing elderberry, I'm doing zinc, and I'm doing vitamin C. But like, I don't know if I'm missing something, but I don't have as much energy as I used to, you know.
Where's the B vitamins? Where's your B vitamin?
12.
Where's that B12?
Need a B12. Mm-hmm.
Every day.
B12. That'll give me the energy I need.
Yeah. But also you have to look, so supplements are great in conjunction with your lifestyle. So look at your lifestyle and kind of just say, okay, am I giving myself the fuel that I need to fuel my day? Am I sleeping? Am I getting water? So it's all about, it's like a holistic approach. It's not just one thing. You have to look at holistically, how am I living my lifestyle? Because that's what's going to be your make or break thing. So if you're not getting sleep, if what you are eating is crap, you're going to be off. You're just going to be off. And so you can't just take one thing and just focus on that one thing. Look at it from a holistic perspective.
Because what I'm finding is that, like, for me to eat really healthy, I'm going to have to cook all my foods because, you know, I have found myself, I'll go to the grocery store and I'll get, let me get this plant-based sausage. Let me get this, everything's plant-based, but I don't feel right going into my second month. I feel like I'm messing up. The first one, I was like on it, like cooking every day, every night, vegetables, just everything from the earth. But now I'm getting kind of slack, like, well, let me sample this little vegetarian pizza.
Mm-hmm. and it's processed. And so if you're eating a lot of processed food, you're going to be still hungry. You're going to not feel, satisfied. So you got to be mindful of that as well.
But I'm not gaining any weight, I'm still losing, but I know I could be doing more.
It's the quality.
Quality. Yes.
Quality of your food.
And another thing I noticed before I became a vegetarian, I could easily work out like 4 to 5 times a week, killing it. Now I'm good if I could do 3. I'm like, I'm just tired, But my group, they're like, let's go. I'm like, y'all want to work out again? Are y'all serious? So I want to get back to that 5 days a week consistently. But I'm doing good with the food. I haven't eaten, like I said, I haven't eaten any meat. I haven't had any fried foods. Like, I'm just so happy. Like I can literally drive by Burger King, like Bojangles and not say, well, at least it's chicken. So let me just get some fried chicken because at least it's chicken. Like I don't even desire like fried foods anymore or anything like that. So I'm glad it has affected my mind. Is that what you guys find like on your journey, that it's has to do with the power of the mind and your thoughts, and that's all connected?
For me, it's been about preparation.
Preparation.
I like to meal prep, and that's kind of like my answer to not throwing myself off. And so I meal prep on Sundays. I buy my groceries on Saturdays probably, or even on Sundays sometimes. I meal prep for the week. I'm someone that I'm about habits. And so I can eat the same thing every day and I'm okay. So,
Wow.
we have to like meal prep for 2 days and then cook again and then for another 2 days. And that's okay. You find your own rhythm. But I like to be prepared and know what to expect. And so that's how I set myself up for success, is meal prepping.
Do you enjoy it? Do you enjoy cooking?
I enjoy it. I love the adventure of it. So when I first got started in my journey, I used to weigh and measure everything. So that's always been something that I enjoyed doing, not just within the last couple of years. Like, so I'm like, that's my thing. And so I don't mind doing it. I love it. I like to meal plan. I like to meal prep. And that's just how I stay on it. Now, I don't mind, I've been in the game long enough to kind of know what to eat if I'm like out. But if I want to make sure that I'm on point, I meal prep, and that's what sets me up for success.
Awesome. Well, we're getting ready to close out. Travis had to he had to check on his parents, so he had to kind of leave us right now. So, but I just want to thank God for Travis being with us as he was able to. And I want to thank you three for being such amazing guests this evening. I've learned so much about taking care of the cave and the shell and the temple. And now I know I need to get either walnuts, avocado, sunflower oil. I'm going to tell y'all a quick story about what happened to me. I think it was last week. I got my broccoli, my doggone it, Brussels sprouts, my squash, my carrots, put it all in the thing. And I realized, oh my God, I forgot to get my coconut oil. Then I remembered there was some Crisco oil in the cabinet. I said, let me go and put some of this Crisco oil in here. It's going to be all right because this is all vegetables. By the time I finished with that and I started eating it, I was like, I can't do it. It was like the worst experience ever. I was like, it felt so heavy on me. Like I actually ate a whole plate of it and I felt so sick the next day. So I learned a valuable lesson. Like I can't do like Crisco oil or those type of oils. There has to be, stuff like this. So I'm learning.
Well, that's another thing too that's important, again, in knowing your body, right? She pointed into that, a while back when we were speaking, that your body is going to speak to you. It always has, regardless if you're on a meal plan or not. Your body speaks to you. So if there's pain in your body, it's talking to you. It's saying, what are you doing? I don't want that. I don't care if it's a headache. Any pain in your foot, what is speaking to you? So then you have to listen to it and say, what's causing my discomfort?
Yeah.
What's causing this problem? You don't ignore it. You just don't go on and just say, well, whatever, go have a lollipop or a beer or something. You don't do that. And that's what most people do. They cover it up and they continue to do so. Then it goes away. They go have a bowel movement, or they'll stay constipated for 8 days, whatever the case may be, until it passes. And next thing you know, your body's just, because the thing is, if we could see what was going on inside of this vessel, man, no one would have to tell you how to eat. No one would have to shout it. They wouldn't have to write a book. They wouldn't have to have this little meeting and Zoom that we're doing. You wouldn't have to educate a soul. If you saw what was going on after you smoke a cigarette, saw your heart, you wouldn't smoke again.
Yeah.
But we can't see what's going on. God made this a complex body for a reason, and each organ is there of importance. And when it's missing, Like my mom, when she had her gallbladder removed, or my sister, when she had her thyroid removed, you have to replace, it has to function somehow, right? So obviously there's medications or things that you've changed in your lifestyle. For me, for her, she doesn't want to get cancer. I don't want breast cancer again. I'm a survivor of it. I'm a warrior of it. I hopped on it immediately. I started saying, what the heck is going on? How someone like me gets this? It's not, this is not, no, this is, no. And so once you find that out and you figure it out like you did, oh, my stomach hurt. Oh, that didn't sit well. You don't repeat it. You say, I have to do what? Process of elimination. What could have caused this discomfort in my digestive tract? Was it was my food expired, outdated? Was it the oil? What kind of oil? I mean, you have to play. And it's trial and error, especially at the beginning. But once you continue to do this, a year from now, when you're celebrating your 1 year, if you get to that point,
wait.
Yeah,
I'm going to get there. I'm going to get there. I am.
Yeah, if that's your choice, that you want to continue
Forever.
on this thing, your body, you will know. You will know, like, you know what, for me, just so you know, I haven't had pork in 35 years.
Wow.
Not 1 ounce of it. I can smell bacon. I can watch somebody make a pork chop. My mom don't do it now, but she used to. And it wouldn't bother me. Like, it doesn't do a thing to me. I don't go, ooh, I don't turn my nose up at it. I don't crave it. I don't want it. And I haven't had it. But it was a conscious decision that I made after watching the documentary and all this other stuff. I won't get into that. And why I chose that. That wasn't because of not eating meat. I chose not to eat pork. Once I found out that was the worst of it, I was like, oh no. And I love bacon. I'm like, how can a person not eat bacon? Like, how can you not have bacon on your sandwich? Like, how can you not do that? It's like, it's the best thing since they made the bread to make a sandwich. But once I educated myself and found out some things, I just chose to do that. So for your journey, and when you get here next year, oh my goodness, I can't wait. I can't wait to be a part of this forum. And I think these are important, especially at the beginning. So thank you again for allowing me to be a part of it. But I think it's very important to do things like this, open it up, have a Q&A just for the public and people who want to join in. And because I think, again, a lot of people, they just don't know, but they learn from others. You learn from people who've been through it more so than a person who's telling you to do something who haven't even done it. They read it out of a book, or they went to some seminar, but they don't practice it. So if you're practicing it and you chose to do what you do, those are the people that you want to help mentor others, to empower others, to inspire others. And I think it's important. So I want to say thank you again for this evening.
You're more than welcome. You're absolutely more than welcome. Thank you so much. So I'm just excited, about the future. I'm excited about our lives. Ty, I thank you so much for taking time. I know you have the little baby you're trying to get set up for the evening, and it's 8:06, so I'm not going to keep you long. I get it. So I just want you to have some closing remarks, and then we're going to just have Paulette pray us out, and we're going to go home.
Yeah, so we're coming up on the Thanksgiving holiday, and I want to remind everybody that although Thanksgiving is a social event, I want us to remember that we can enjoy the social event without partaking in all of the food if you don't want to. And so it's kind of about knowing what your goal is and being intentional with implementing that goal for yourself. So know what your food goal is. And you can actually set yourself up for Thanksgiving that you'll actually lose weight. You can have all the food you want and then lose weight if you plan it the way that you want it to be and be intentional about it. So just knowing that food is, Thanksgiving is social, holidays is social, enjoy the social aspect, enjoy your family, your friends. It doesn't have to be all about the food. It doesn't have to be all about the food. So take that out of the equation. But even with that, allow yourself grace. Know that it's just a day. It's just a, if you want to eat, and then move on with your life. It's the habits that get us in trouble. It's not get us in trouble. You're not going to be, I have to remind myself this often. I'm not going to be 400 pounds if I eat cake one day. If I eat cake,
that's right.
a month, I will gain the weight, right? So yourself the grace to have the experience that you want, but be mindful and know what the intent behind it.
I like that. The grace. All right, Minister Paulette, take us to the throne, my sister.
Oh, sure. Most Heavenly Father, God of the Most High, we come to you as humbly as we know how to give you glory, honor, and praise this evening. And we thank you so much, Lord, that you've allowed us to have this joint meeting amongst friends, Lord. And we do want to take care of our temple that you have given to us. And Lord, we just thank you so much for your presence. We felt your presence. I felt your presence. I know that you're here, and this was not done by accident, by joining us together. So Lord, help us to be the great stewards that you have called us to be. I pray that you would anoint and continue to touch Veronica and what she's doing and how she's doing it. I thank you so much for Taz and who she is today. It was great knowing who she was and joining us together, Lord. I just pray that we could be more fruitful in what you've called us to do so others can learn and continue to learn, and we can continue to learn and grow as well. I say this thing in your son's name. The most maximus name is the Christ, Jesus. Hallelujah. Amen.
Man.
Hallelujah. Oh, man. All right. Well done. We're done, guys. Thank you so much, Travis. We love you. We'll pray for you and your family. Blessings. And ladies, thank you so much for joining me. I love you all. And I will talk with you soon.